Hello, my name is Bianco. In this video I will talk about the differences between the Mossberg 590 system and the Maverick 88. There are some confusions and it's a bit unclear on the website and all that, what is the difference between the two or three models. Basically the Mossberg 500 and 590 are better made than the Maverick 88. They are made in a different factory here in USA. Some parts from the Maverick 88 are made in Mexico and then imported to USA and assembled to a firearm right over the border in a different Mossberg facility. So technically it's pretty much the same. The technical side with the feeding, the magazine, the bottle and all that is pretty much the same like with the Mossberg 500, and I'm gonna go quick about overall the differences. The main difference is by the Maverick 88 you have the safety right here in front of the trigger guard, and by the Mossberg, as we see here, you have it on top of the tang. So that is what you need to consider the most. If you have a stock with a pistol grip, that like this one here, it's way easier to use the safety on the Maverick instead of on the tang, because you can't reach with the thumb up on the pistol grip version as easy as with the part that is the safety part that is in front of the trigger guard. So if you plan to use a pistol grip or a pistol grip stock, maybe something like with a R15 style sliding stock, the safety of the Mossberg, of the Maverick 88 for sure, is way better than the tang safety of the Mossberg 590. That is the main thing that you need to consider, next to the price of course. If you use a regular stock version, if you don't gonna use a pistol grip, then and maybe even you are a left-hander, that is a big point too. The tang safety on top here on that Mossberg 500 is really easy to use for left-hand people too. The sliding safety here for on the trigger guard on the Maverick, that goes the wrong way for left-handers, so that is and I'm not sure if you can reverse that. I would say quite likely not. That is a question that I did not yet look up, if you can actually reverse the safety for left-hand use. For sure it would need a armor or something to put that in the opposite way. So for general purpose, for general people, I would say the Mossberg is the better item, unless you don't want to spend the slightly higher price on the Mossberg than the Maverick. Now for the stocks, the butt stocks, all are interchangeable. We see here just two samples. The regular one of the Maverick. This Maverick 88 is like brand new and prior altering. So we see here the regular polymer stock. Some of the Mossberg 500 come with the same stock. That is all interchangeable between the Maverick and the Mossberg. Here we see older speed feed stock where you can storage 4 rounds in the stock itself. But there you are completely flexible. Even the relative new flex system from Mossberg, where you can interchange stocks to pistol grips and different stocks and all that in a couple seconds. That flex system would work on the Maverick as well. That is with the butt stocks with the 4 ends, unfortunately. it's a bit different. Now the Maverick 88 forend, as we see here, with those pins, the action bars are pinned in place of a polymer forend, the traditional Cobb style. On the Mossberg we have a metal tube inside. We see here the nut that is connected with the action bars, and then the plastic is around it. So you can interchange the plastic here with like a Mossberg, different Mossberg versions, with a wood one, with the Magpul version, you know. The Magpul version goes a bit higher up, so it would not work with the heat shield here, the original Mossberg heat shield. So here you are pretty much stuck with that forend, unless you take that out and you get yourself a steel action bar. It's about $60–70 if they are available, and you can then use the Mossberg 590 forend steel action bar tubing on the Maverick as well. So that is possible too. I did that with another Maverick, the one that is set up with the pistol grip that has a Magpul forend on it, and for doing so I needed the metal part. So it's rather expensive to change that, but the original Maverick is just a polymer Cobb design, and that's it. You cannot interchange that at all. Then to the magazines and barrels. So within the caliber, those here are 12 gauge model with the 7-shot magazine and the 20-inch barrel. So both model use the same barrel and magazine. That you can of course interchange too. For the 20-inch there is not that many different barrel styles, but the shorter magazine version there you can also get, like the Maverick is sold in a model with a short 18.5-inch self-defense barrel and a longer hunting style barrel. So every barrel, like from the Mossberg 500, 590, that has the same caliber and the same magazine length will fit. So you can interchange that. On the barrels by the Maverick, of course, they have the Maverick engraving, and on the Mossberg there, that is basically the only difference. It looks that there are a bit smaller differences, like here with the part where the barrel goes on. That they had so many variations in all the years as the Mossberg 500 model was made, so that can look a bit different. Now to the heat shield, here we have the original from Mossberg. That will fit on the Maverick 88 too. Again, that plastic part here that is inside, because that section here of the barrel looks a bit different than here, may need to be trimmed to fit it, that has the correct length there. The most easy version to put a light on the Maverick 88 would be to get a part like this. It's a simple part that goes around the magazine tube, and then you have a weaver rail section to clamp on a flashlight, like a all-light pistol light, even with a laser and things like that. So that would be the most easy possibility, because again, you can change the forend out to a Magpul with the slots in it and all that. So since we have here the heat shield on it, we have the space covered in between, so that part will not fit here. So it's always a bit what you want to do, what fits for your needs. Do you need a heat shield? Do you need a flashlight? Do you need both? So that gives you a bit a different solution, you know. Then yeah, that pretty much is it, except one thing on the receiver. The receiver of the Maverick 88 is not drilled and tapped on top. They save the money. Of course, you don't have the slot for the sliding safety here either. So no drilling and tapping, so you can't readily mount one of those inexpensive rails to put on a sight or a flashlight back there if you want, or a laser or whatever. So there would be in need to drill 4 holes and tap the thing so you can actually mount a rail. Here is the example from the Mossberg that is already drilled and tapped for the rail. Now you have to be careful by older versions that may not be drilled and tapped either. So it depends. I'm talking about the new ones that are made for quite a couple of years. They all have the holes, so you can simply get yourself a rail and mount that, and then you can mount whatever sight you wanna have. Also, Mossberg sells a ghost ring sight, not this one, that is a different brand, that mounts directly on those 4 screws, and then you can get yourself a bottle with a front sight for that ghost ring sight, so that would be a possible setup as well. Then the side saddle, by the side saddle, that interchanges with that one too, no problem. The holes from the pin for the trigger assembly and for the ejector are the same, so you can mount the side saddle how you want. That is no problem at all there to mount that regular Mossberg 500 if you want to have a side saddle on it. Yeah, that pretty much is it. So it's something to think about, to plan out if you want to get the 88, or if you want to spend a bit more money on a Mossberg 500. The best system, of course, is still the Mossberg 590. There you can get the trigger assembly in metal if you want to. The bottle has a bit of thicker wall as well, so it's more a bit more heavy, but also more sturdy and all that. So it depends. There is a lot of different things that you can do with the Mossberg system, and it just need to be planned out to figure out what you actually want to do with it. One last point, maybe the finish that I did not address yet. So the housing is aluminium on all of them. That doesn't matter because the bolt and the bottle are steel and they lock up together. The magazine tube is steel too. By Maverick you just get that blued in a blued finish like we have it here, and that finish is not too durable. Also, if you are in a rather humid environment like me here in North Georgia in the jungle, that needs some paint, whatever paint you're gonna use, but that is easy to rust on the blued surface. Now the Mossberg models you can get in blued, in parkerized, or in a nickel finish. Some of them, not all of the models, but some of them you can select the finish, so maybe a parkerizing would be better for you, and the Maverick just use the bare basic bluing finish. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Great guns. Those people by Mossberg for sure did offer a great system. It's lighter than the Remington 870. The 870 is pretty good too. We did, as I was stuck in Switzerland, we only had the Remington system, but in USA we have a bit more selection on the different firearms, so I did test out the Mossberg system now for over 13 years.